Now to the push for change to protect victims of domestic violence. The family of Bailey McCourt, who was murdered last month in Kelowna, is calling for changes to legislation, changes like a registry for offenders and GPS tracking. CTV's Rob Buffum reports on how lawmakers are responding.
We're not going to stop fighting until we see these changes implemented.
A grieving family is demanding changes to the justice system.
It will protect lives. And we don't want to see anybody else go through what our family is going through.
32-year-old Bailey McCourt was killed on July 4th in broad daylight in a Kelowna parking lot. The mother of two was beaten to death by a hammer. Her friend was also attacked and left with injuries. McCourt's estranged husband, James Plover, is charged with second-degree murder. Earlier that day, he'd been convicted of uttering threats and assault by choking in a domestic violence case, but wasn't held in custody pending his sentencing. McCourt's aunt says her death was preventable.
This is what Bailey would want, and we need to keep people like her sisters and daughters safe in the future.
They want to see legislative reform called Bailey's Law that includes GPS monitoring and a registry of convicted domestic offenders, first-degree murder charges for domestic homicide, and risk assessment tools for those likely to reoffend. They also want to see stricter domestic violence bail laws.
A no-contact order, a piece of paper, isn't enough to keep people safe.
The family has sent their plea to the Prime Minister. BC's Attorney General says she's reviewing them and already pushed Ottawa for bail reform that addresses certain crimes that often escalate.
I've asked for specific changes to the criminal code related to the choking and suffocation and those types of inter-partner violence that the evidence shows can lead to serious harm and death.
McCourt's family says the changes are critical to fix a broken system that's left two little girls without a mother and a community desperate to find meaning in her senseless death.
Bailey was very kind, very compassionate, a loving person, and she would want to see something positive come out of this horrific situation.
Rob Buffum joins us live from Victoria. And Rob, what other reforms are Bailey McCourt's family calling for?
Well, Mijung, they're calling also for judicial education about the factors that are likely to lead to reoffending. The province, independent of this, on Monday issued an announcement that they plan to amend the Family Law Act in various ways, including expanding the definition of domestic violence to include things like coercion and controlling behavior, as it takes steps to try to address what it defined in January as an epidemic of gender-based violence. Mijung.
Thank you, Rob.